Hello, my name is Laura. This is my presentation. Today, I will analyze code switching in an English class using the functions explained by Olga Isert and other authors. Um, this is the content. First, first, I will explain the functions of code switching. Then I will analyze how the teacher and the students used these functions in the video class. And finally, I will share my conclusion about it and the bibliography. So, first of all, we're going to check the explanation of the code switching functions related to the teacher. So, um, teachers use code switching for three main functions. The first one is topic switch, the second one is effective, and the third one is repetitive functions. For the topic switch, the teacher changes to Spanish when explaining grammar. For example, they may say in English, I'm going, and then es como decir, yo estoy yendo en español. This helps students connect old knowledge with new knowledge. For the effective function, the teacher uses Spanish to show support. An example of that is no te preocupes, lo estás haciendo bien. This sentence, if you tell this to your students, this may help to build trust and to reduce the anxiety overall. And for the repetitive function, the teacher first gives instructions in English, such as open your box on page 25, and then repeats the instruction in Spanish. Abran los libros en la página 25. So this ensures or help everyone to understand the instruction previously given. Um, this is the teacher functions. Then we are going to check this explanation of code switching with the students functions. Um, Students also use code switching in different ways. These are equivalence, floor holding, and reiteration. So equivalence happens when they don't know the English word for something. For example, it's a dog, un perro. This allows them to keep speaking. The floor holding is when they use Spanish to fill gaps. For example, yesterday ¿cómo se dice? Fui al parque. This keeps the conversation going while they think. And the second one is reiteration. This means that the students repeat the idea in Spanish. For example, he's hungry. Él tiene hambre. This confirms that they understood the meaning of what they are saying. And also, they are functions for both teacher and students. For example, the interjections, which are short words like, okay, muy bien, let's continue. Or, I, teacher, like when you mix both languages. And the second one is qualifying the message happens when someone adds Spanish for some emphasis, like you must practice at home. ¿Sí me entienden? Or it's very difficult, muy difícil. These are examples of these functions for both. So now we're going to continue with the analysis of the provided video. In the video we watch, we can clearly see these functions. For example, the teacher switch languages when giving grammar explanation, showing topic switch. The teacher also motivated students in Spanish, which is the affective function. We also notice repetitive function when instructions were given in English and repeated in Spanish. Um, Here we have some of these examples. In the topic switch, when explaining grammar or giving instructions, teacher briefly switches to Spanish to ensure this clarity. The effective function, teacher uses Spanish phrases like muy bien or SOS to encourage and motivate students. And the repetitive function, the teacher often explains first in English, then repeats in Spanish to reinforce this understanding in English. We have some examples in here. Uh, in the topic switch, the teacher, we can see clearly in the video, the teacher explains a grammar rule in English first. In English we say I am going, then switches to Spanish, es como decir yo estoy yendo en español. So this switch helps students to connect the new grammar with the grammar they already know in his mother tongue. In the effective function, the example is when a student struggles, the teacher says in Spanish, no te preocupes, lo estás haciendo bien. English, don't worry, you're doing fine. And the switching here reduces the student anxiety and builds confidence on what he was saying. And in the repetitive function, the example is the teacher gives an instruction in English, which is open your books on page 25 and then repeats in Spanish, abran los libros en la página 25. So this ensures all students understand the tasks that he's going to tell them. Then we're going to analyze the student functions in the provided video. Some that I can find that I could find were equivalents. For example, some students replace unknown English words with Spanish ones. Also, I can notice plural holding because the students use Spanish fillers when searching for English words, and I also could notice reiteration because they sometimes repeat what they say in English into Spanish to convert this meaning. Here we have the examples of that. Talking about equivalence, the example is that a student tries to describe an animal but doesn't know the English word. So he said, "It's a dog, un perro." So using this known word helps them to continue speaking without breaking this communication. Talking about floor holding, a student says, "Yesterday ¿cómo se dice? Fui al parque." Here, Spanish fills the silence while they search for the English sentence or phrase. And talking about the reiteration, the students answer in English, "He's hungry," and then adds in Spanish, "Tiene hambre." So this shows the student understood and reinforces the meaning in both languages. And talking about the functions with both of them, we can check some interjections with our short words that appear in both codes and qualifying the message because the teacher and students add Spanish at the end of an English sentence to check the understanding or to soften the message. And the examples in the video are about interjections. For example, are from teacher, it's okay, muy bien, let's continue. And one student said, "I teacher, I forgot my notebook." So we can notice these both languages mixed on these expressions. And qualifying the message, the example that I have is that the teacher says, "You must practice at home." ¿Sí me entienden? And a student says, "It's difficult." Muy difícil. So the switch straightens the message by checking the understanding or adding emphasis to the sentence given or provided. In conclusion, code switching in this English class help the teacher explain, not only explain, but motivate and clarify, while students use it to avoid the silence, confirm ideas, or fill vocabulary gaps. Although too much code switching can reduce this exposure to English, in this case, it works as a tool to support this learning and and communication. So that will be all. Thank you so much. Here is my bibliography. And yeah, that will be all. Thank you.